God, it's off air. Hi.
We're
Good
live.
morning. Yes, we are. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good,
Welcome.
good, good.
Doing
Yeah,
good.
Good beans,
Good.
man.
What time?
good, tired, good but tired, tired but good. Which one is it?
Good. Tired. Double.
Okay. All right.
All
Welcome to
sorts
Regular
of
Tech
work
good.
day, man.
Chat. This is episode number 2 for Wednesday, April 15th, 2015. My name is Kevin Artuni, and with me this evening we have Monsieur Tech Chat himself, Monsieur Dale. We
Hey, what's
have
up?
Master Richard. I'm good. We have Mr. Mikhail with a very, very pretty looking bedroom. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pink. Yeah, it's really pink.
Yeah, that's probably a woman's room. But anyways, so we have Horace and we have how are we doing this evening, guys? I heard tired but good. What else is there?
Well, just the regular, man. Playing video games, watching TV, that type of stuff. After work blues.
Very nice,
So
very nice.
how the world work after Obama visit last week?
Um,
Uh,
after the lockdown was lifted, out
honestly,
of New Kingston, because the entire place was just I'm not sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but in Jamaica we say boy dog afraid. Yeah. Everybody was afraid.
So, is there work actual work going on still
wow.
after like your matter of
Hang on, still,
What was that? What is that?
hang
It
on.
seems that NSA is trying to intercept our broadcast.
Yeah, everything is trying to intercept the broadcast. Dale, you sound very robotic just now.
Yeah.
Dale, that's you? Damn. Damn.
Are you actually like a transformer deal?
right.
It's
Are you
just
trying to
gone.
communicate with the home planet?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please be advised, Mr. Dale is having technical difficulties beyond his control. He shall be back with us in a few minutes, 2 to 3 max, while he sorts out the sound issues. Just Mr.
Hashtag
Dale.
blame flow.
All right. But the
That should just
question
be
was
everyone's hashtag now. Blame flow.
no. Let's not bash flow this time. We did it
I'm
last week.
just joking, man. I'm just joking.
Let's leave it this time. Okay.
Is it awkward?
Not better deal.
Okay. I'll go ahead and come back in there. Just carry on. I'll jump in.
No
All
deal.
right.
No.
No. Okay. So all right. For nod, there we go. Okay. So Dale disconnects for a little bit, and when he fixes his mic, I'm not sure what the problem is. But the question was asked: what did you guys think about the Obama visit last week? What didn't get any responses on that? What do you guys think?
Well, speaking as the Mobile correspondent, I I was very excited when he shot the rainbow out of his hand, and we didn't get any of our roads fixed. We didn't see any helicopters. It was a pretty normal day. I mean, except that people were like, "Oh, Obama is here." And like,
And hey,
great.
I wouldn't say that. Have you watched the TV, dude? It's like crazy. Like you couldn't turn it on TVJ without seeing Obama's face like all over the TV. I was like,
Well, I mean, you normally see Obama everywhere normally. So I mean, it was a pretty normal day for me anyway.
fair enough.
wasn't normal for me, man. I couldn't get anywhere.
No,
I
no,
work in the. Remember that I work at the Pegasus, so I was in the epicenter of it all.
Oh,
They,
did like Secret Service come vet you?
dude, the
Like,
the Secret Service were in the hotel from like a couple of weeks before the president even got here. Dude, you couldn't go onto the 12th floor without like people like the Secret Service holding their guns, looking at you funny, like, "What are you doing here?"
it's like, oh my God, he's a
Like,
Jamaican.
I work here. Don't shoot me, please. Honestly, the day that I got into work, you guys should hear this. The day I got into work, I couldn't drive the regular way, so I had to drive around on Altamont Crescent. You guys know where that is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Altamont.
yeah.
So we drove on Altamont Crescent, and we got stopped by 3 soldiers, just looking at us like, "What you doing here?" I said, "I work at the Pegasus." And they said, okay. And they just wouldn't let us through the barrier. They were just looking at us like, okay, what you gonna do? I was like, well, I
I
guess
want to
I'm
go to
just
work.
gonna go get out the car and walk to work.
Yeah, I want to go to
And
work.
as I walked through the properties to get to work, there were so much police. I thought that Osama bin Laden was hiding out in Jamaica.
That's
I was like,
Okay.
that's very disturbing.
I
That's
was like,
very
I was like, whoa, they must have found something. And then the funny story is when I got into work, it looks like, do you know what it looks like at the airport in high hour? In the high times when
rush
basically
hour.
like at
Yeah.
rush hour when everybody gets there and they're all trying to pass the metal detectors and everybody's getting waved down. That was the
Yeah.
Pegasus lobby. They had like bomb sniffing dogs, SWAT
Mhm.
team kind of dangling outside. Seriously, it was crazy. And then like I got through, but then like the guy right behind me got locked out of work. He
It's like,
couldn't get
nope,
in. He
nope,
was like, he's like, but I have my ID, and they're like, nope, nope, nope,
not getting in.
nope,
Nope,
nope.
no, not at all.
So
All
nobody could
right.
get into work until like 12 o'clock. Nobody got to work until like 12, unless you got to work like about 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
And then when the funny thing is that um I think about 4 o'clock when my shift ends and I'm saying okay it's time to go home. I couldn't my girl couldn't pick me up because she was being
she would
blocked
have
off.
been let down as well. Yeah.
Yeah, she was being blocked off. She couldn't go anywhere. So I was like I had to chill there until 6. So I could have
Yeah.
honestly
That
this
must have been
whole
fun.
inconvenience to the day could have been made up if I got
Mhm.
to at least see the guy. If I even saw him, then I would have been like, oh, I saw Obama today. That was awesome.
Tell you what,
But
yes,
instead, I
Well,
got some little candies and that was it.
enough of Obama. What's on the agenda for today?
Yes, yes. What's
well,
on the
right now we have quite a number of things to discuss this evening. New camera technology, that's one. GTA 5 has been released, so I
GDA
want to
5.
GTA 5, yes, has been released. So we want to talk about that this part of the day. Want to also talk about drones, and I want to know. I mean, everyone wants to get into flying and all that. I'm thinking of getting one, but it's not right now. So yeah. Want to talk about Flow suing their former managing director, which is strange as hell, but hey, they can do whatever they want to do. How to build a budget PC for 2015. Digicel wanting to become the triple play provider in the Caribbean. I don't know if they're trying to mimic AT&T, but that's what they do. I really don't know. Purchasing a new TV, the things you should look for. And if we have enough time, we can touch on Apple Watch and Android Wear. So, the first thing would be the new camera technology. And I gather that Mr. Earl is going to take that one. So, tell me what you think about that.
Okay, so basically, there was this convention from the guys at NAB, which is the National Association of Broadcasters in Las Vegas,
Hmm.
and one of the main attractions there was Black Magic. They always steal the show, but
Hmm.
this year they have two new cameras for the budget-minded professionals.
Hmm.
I'm talking about the $900 to $1,200 range. These are small video cameras that use micro four thirds mounts, and they shoot RAW and ProRes video. So
Okay.
they're a step above what you'd get in regular cameras, like let's say a 5D Mark II or a Panasonic GH4, which shoot the H.264 codec, which is very
Hmm.
compressed.
Hmm.
ProRes is a lossless codec. That means you don't lose any quality when you compress it,
Okay.
and so is RAW. RAW is like straight out the sensor data. So it looks really good. You can grade it very well. Yeah, so these
Okay.
are like very small, very compact. They're good. They're like have you guys ever seen the GoPros?
Yes, I've seen the
Yes.
They're a
GoPro.
little bit bigger, and the lenses would be a little bit bigger, but they're about the same kind of size, enough to fit on like your car bumpers or your helmets. They're good for like action cams and stuff like that. So yeah,
But but the
looks
real
really
question,
good.
the real question is it the real question is it worth it?
Yeah,
Is it worth the
definitely,
price tag?
definitely. You're not gonna get anything like that in that price range. We're talking about professional, high quality studio level video from a small camera that could fit in your pocket. They're one of a kind in the industry right now. The closest you can get to something like that would
Mhm.
be like a 1500 dollar GH4 from
Um,
Panasonic.
okay, okay. I just want to ask what company
So,
makes this.
question. All right. Can you guys hear me clear now?
Yes,
Good.
we can.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Right.
All right. So, are these like prosumer type cameras or actual professional cameras?
Um, I would say they're in between prosumer and professional. You could use them on professional shoots. Low light's not that great because they have like Super 16 sensors, which is a little bit smaller than what you'd find in a Micro Four Thirds, which is a
Mhm.
2x crop, and the Super 16 is a 3x crop. So with Micro Four Thirds lens, you're getting a little bit less field of view and you're getting less sensitivity. But for like let's say examples that you'd use your GoPro for sports and for things where you'd be putting a camera in like a dangerous situation,
Mhm.
you can't find any better options that shoot such high quality video.
Okay.
And
I
especially
have a
for drone,
question.
it's gonna come up soon. The studio camera is built. They're both actually built specifically for drone usage.
Okay.
That's another thing. You just gotta read up the article and see how you can use it for your drone.
Nikhil had a question.
Yeah, I have a question. All right. Obviously, this camera is looking to directly compete with GoPro.
Mhm.
So we're looking
And
at it.
and others,
Everybody,
yeah.
yeah, and others. But I mean, GoPro is a big name. But
Mhm.
everybody knows GoPro. Everybody knows that you can throw GoPro out of a plane at 10,000 feet and it will pick up and it will work when you go for it.
We survived.
So
Like,
if
I saw that video and it was just
yeah,
yeah.
how what kind of reliability are we looking at with this ruggedness, toughness? Is it
That's
the
a good question.
yeah? I mean,
Uh,
they haven't. I've been looking at the article. I'm not seeing anything about accessories or anything like that. And that
so
should I
right,
think that should be something key.
yeah, that's a good question. Right now, I haven't seen anything about the reliability and the ruggedness of the device. I
Mhm.
don't think it's going to be quite as rugged or as waterproof as the GoPro was, although the GoPro kind of needed a case, I believe.
Yeah, it
I'm sure
does.
they're going to be third-party accessories because they have a lot of like industry acceptance, and you can see that with their other products. And they use standards too, but I'm sure they're going to have accessories that should waterproof and help add some ruggedness to the device. But right now, out of the box, they're just like a regular camera. You can damage them. I don't think they even waterproof. I don't think they even support waterproof lenses.
But the
So
thing is, I mean, one of the things to consider as well is a pricing point for this particular device. Now, I glanced over the article briefly, and it's feature rich. Um, but one thing that I noticed, the base model that's for $995. Let's see if I can retrieve the link. That particular base model, it doesn't have 4K. It doesn't shoot at 4K.
hmm
But
What would 4K be used? That's the question.
no,
oh
well,
Can you
yeah,
well, I
it's being
mean,
adopted very heavily. But yeah, go on, Kevin.
yeah, well, not necessarily string, but we're going to get to the point where 4K is going to be used or not. But the fact that the low end model that costs almost $1,000 doesn't support 4K, but the GoPro, the most expensive GoPro, I believe, is for like $600.
No,
That's
actually, the most expensive GoPro is $500. I'm only
five.
looking at it right now.
That's what I'm saying, $500, and it can shoot in 4K. So,
It
I mean, make
does.
it have one now.
I
You want
mean,
one?
No, I'm looking at the site no,
Okay.
and it
Yes,
does capture 4K.
yeah. So there's not much time left for this topic, but I can. There's like the big differences in the quality. Remember, I was talking about ProRes and RAW versus H.264. The thing
Mhm.
is, it's like twofold against the GoPro. The GoPro has a very tiny camera size sensor, like what you find in the point and shoot, and
Mhm.
the Black Magic has a larger sensor that you'd find in like mirrorless cameras like the Nikon One series. And
So,
also being
okay,
ProRes,
that's
it
good.
a lossless codec. That means when you compress it, you don't lose any quality. It just compresses the size, like FLAC file, FLAC file.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so okay, so let us make it a little new proof. So for so in essence, if the image is 10 megs and you compress it down to 2 or 3, it's going to look the same as if it were a 10 meg picture. In essence.
Exactly,
That's actually
lossless.
pretty good.
Okay, that's
That'd
good.
actually be
That's
pretty
probably
good
gonna.
for like,
Mhm.
man, I can't imagine the professional applications of it.
But I mean, my only concern, or my major concern, really is the price point because their cheapest models for $1,000 basically. And mind you, as I think it was Mikhail that said it, what use is 4K? But at the same time, people want to know that hey, I'm
It's
basically
future proof.
future-proofing. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm future-proofing the hardware. So if I can get something that shoots it natively, right?
Oh, that's another thing
In an,
too. I gotta bring this up. The model that supports 4K doesn't
Mhm.
support it internally. You have to get an external video recorder like
Oh man.
Atmos Shogun.
That's the next thing.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah. Well, I'm
this is
looking now. I'm looking at it now. That one, $1,300. Um, yeah. I mean, the specs are good. The specs are good. Just that it doesn't shoot 4K natively. So a lot
again
of
the next
persons.
camera up that supports 4K that's in that same quality bracket is gonna be the GH4 from Panasonic.
Hmm.
So and that's
But
a
And
then,
$1,500, $1,600 camera.
but then
So it's
again,
very competitive.
extra.
don't forget the
You
FPS
have to
on
get something else.
the Ultra HD. Cause like, imagine
Yeah,
what
it
even if
shoots
it
at 60
says
frames.
no, dude, that's at 1080, but on Ultra HD it shoots at 30.
Which I think most cameras under like 2000 only shoot 30
Well,
frames per second.
what I mean, in regular HD, 1080p, it will shoot at 60 frames, right?
The upgraded model,
Yeah,
I believe.
The
yeah, the
upgraded model. All
upgraded
right.
model. No, both of them. Well, then again, no, just the upgraded model. But you'd have to be spending 1,300 for the Black Magic to get that 60 FPS at
Which to
1080p.
me,
Well,
yeah, the
you'd have to
performance,
spend
the
more than that.
performance surprise. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, the performance to price comparison, honestly, the performance that you get isn't worth the price if you can get it cheaper. That's my opinion. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
mean, it looks good. I like how it looks based off of reading. I like how it looks. I like the features that it has, but the performance to price ratio, it just doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. I'm telling you. But still, I mean, to each his own. You know, someone will use this to the fullest extent, and yeah, I guess that they won't really have a problem with it.
Okay.
All right, next on the agenda is GTA 5. Now we all know that this has been, I think it probably is the most highest anticipated or highly anticipated game for 2015. One of the highly anticipated games for 2015.
you can tell by the
Um,
amount of memes, man.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's been buzzing everywhere and it's been blowing up on since it was released for PC. Oh my word, the modders they have gone to town and back on this game. It's not even a joke. I have seen some videos of this thing. I mean, mind you, the game is good and it's coming from a really really long way. I played GTA 1, 2, and 3. I played a little bit of San Andreas and Vice City, and just thinking of how the game looked from that time and how it looks now in 5 is a vast improvement. Like as far as east is from west, that's how the
No,
improvement
but you
is.
could tell even from 4 to like San Andreas to 4. Like, you remember when 4 came out and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best."
Oh
Like,
my God, this is the
oh.
holy grail.
And
Yes,
then when
yes,
they saw the graphics requirements on it, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is the sexiest thing I ever saw." And my card doesn't support it.
yeah. So I mean, it broke.
Everyone had to get like $300 North graphics cards just to play GTA
It
4.
reminds me of Crisis when Crisis just came out before all the patches. Crisis broke PCs. I think it still breaks PCs to this day.
Crysis is always and
So
forever will be the universal benchmark.
yes,
Like,
yes,
if you
Crisis.
can your PC play Crysis? As a matter of fact, I think what's this? Linus asks that question every time he's like he's talking about a graphics card. Can this play Crisis? That's it. And then he goes, no, or yes, it can.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. But I mean,
All right, so I take it I'm the only one who actually loves the first and second GTA then.
No,
I mean, no,
Well,
mind you, I love the top
everyone
down. I love the top down view. It was so simplistic but fun
Yeah.
as heck at the same time. Like, it really was good. It really, really was good.
Well, you see, the thing is that I preferred about GTA 1 and 2 until when GTA 3 came out. It was more about just random acts of violence. You're just this
Yep.
Yes,
criminal
it
that
was.
goes
Yes,
around and just
that's
kills
true.
you.
Just drive
I
around,
Yeah, it was just,
remember the
it was
news
just
stories
random
around
acts of
it.
violence.
crash into buildings,
Yeah.
blow stuff
Yeah.
up.
And then
race
when
on
the
the
first,
street.
as a kid, when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out and then they did the Mafia story, I was like, oh, come
Wow.
on.
No, it was refreshing. It was refreshing
That's
to
the
the point
thing.
where, yeah, it was refreshing because it is not necessarily mindless acts of violence,
Yeah.
but
No, forgive
it's
me. I was
more.
a kid. I was a kid. So
No,
to me,
it's
mindless
fine.
acts of violence were like, yay, violence.
Yeah, and
Hey,
hey, Michael, you're back.
hey,
What
I'm
happened?
back.
You dis-
I have no idea.
you
Looks
got
like the internet just went dead.
Oh yeah, you're on flow?
Hashtag blame
are you
flow.
off now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
That
yep,
explains it.
yep. Yeah, that's.
Hashtag blame flow.
No, I'm sorry. The new name is Slow.
Yeah.
Hashtag blame slow.
Oh
That's
my
not
God,
nice.
it was. I had to reset the router and I had to power cycle. I power cycled everything first and it never came up and I had to reset the router.
Mm-hmm.
But not the router, the modem for it to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've been
here's
getting
the
that a
thing.
lot lately.
Like every time before the show, I restart the computer, I restart the modem, and I restart the wireless just in case.
No, I had to do that the second I got home. Like the second I got home and I turned on my PC, I noticed that the wireless was off. It was dead. I had to be like, okay, I guess it's time to restart the router again. Restarted the router, said, okay, it's not the router, it's the modem.
Oh,
Get the modem.
slow up to your old tricks again.
No, wait, so that's
No, but that's the thing. Even though this is
You're
not
just
like, I know this is not a part of the topic. I know this is not a part of the topic, but when Mikhail, you posted your video about how, yeah, Flo is going to upgrade my megabits, I'm like, is that a
Buyout.
good thing? Yeah,
Well,
they're buying it out, dude. Let me
Buyout,
see.
yeah.
Buy me out. I
Well,
will take
give
my
it,
out
I'll
and
give you
I will
50
still
megs.
argue with them every day.
but you see, the thing
Even
is
more
that
now.
he said it, and then people are like, wait for it, wait for it,
Yep.
wait for it. But then something is going to come out of it, and it's not going to be good. That kind of thing.
I am going to argue. They gave me a special number, by the way. They said, oh, anytime you have any problem, you call this special number. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be calling this number, I'm sure.
So you have a reason to call them tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to call them. We're like, what's up? Let's see if I can get them to push it to like 100 megs.
My internet died. How can you assist me tonight? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But hold on.
Okay, but Dale, you here?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
So I
Wait,
mean,
guys,
you're
we should
talking
probably
about
get back on topic.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Of course,
GTA 5?
GTA 5. GTA 5.
Yeah,
Tell us about
man.
GTA 5.
I said just about to ask Dale a while ago. He said that he made a statement that he thinks he's the only one that loves the originals, and then he said that no, we love it as well. But what did you like about the originals the most, Dale?
All right. My level of gameplay has been casual, and you know, you're not taking too much power to play it. And I think the original, it broke ground because, again, like I said, acts of violence at that time was a big thing in the gaming industry.
Trying to contact your home planet again?
Yeah, some
Those are
with NSA. NSA have something against him.
You're talking too much stuff against Rockstar.
That's probably
Rockstar's like, what? You don't love GTA 5?
Away with you.
Away with you.
Get DDoS.
Jeez.
But I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand what he's trying to say because the first time I played
Mhm.
GTA 3, which
Mhm.
was like, people were like GTA 3. And I'm like, what's this? I downloaded it. And it did take a long time to download cover and dial up that time. And
You might remember something like,
Nah,
Sorry,
Find that back.
continue. Dial-up was that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the original, well, the first in the series where you actually played through, how is it now, a third-person view of the character, it really was groundbreaking. It really was.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was.
And
Industry
it was
Set
like the
the
introduction of a story, which
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
people were like,
Yeah.
why do we need a story for Grand Theft Auto 5? Let's just do Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
Deal cars.
yeah, so,
But then the story
but I mean,
actually helped this thing and it evolved into one of the best selling games of all time.
that is true.
Apart
Yeah.
from Call of Duty, unfortunately.
So what's the hardware situation like for you guys?
We're gonna save Call of Duty for another discussion. Trust me. What are you saying, Earl?
I said, what's the hardware situation like for you guys?
In
What
terms
hardware are you running?
To
Well,
play GTA 5. Yeah.
I'm looking to upgrade. I actually have I believe it's a 6850. Romano assists me in getting that. Romano Parks on Facebook and TechChat. Big up.
Mhm.
You know. Um, I'm running one of the A4 APU processors. I got it when it just released. So I believe that I was future proofing my build. But when they dropped the FM1 chip, I was
Yep.
like, holy crap.
Why would you get
So
an A4 thinking that would be future proofing yourself,
no,
man?
as an
marketing.
A4, yes,
Oh,
Dude,
yes,
I remember when Simon Foster came to me with the same story, my brother, and he was like, "Oh, I'm getting an APU," and I'm like, "That sounds like a horrible, horrible
No,
idea."
no. APUs
No,
are
no,
good,
no,
man.
no. I know, but
Hmm.
when it first started out, the first generation of APUs were shit. Sorry for using this language.
where they
It was
were,
horrible. It was horrible, and
I, I guess it
please
depends on the price
forgive my,
point and other things, but I don't think we should get into this right now.
yeah,
yeah,
but
no, the AMD Nvidia wars,
yeah.
they will not end with this discussion or the next discussion. So yeah, but
Well,
at the end of the day, GTA 5, it looks like well, not looks like it is a gorgeous game.
It's gorgeous,
Aye.
but it doesn't run well for you guys.
Well,
Yes.
I've never tried.
Yes.
I've never tried it. There's a website. Can you run it?
you run it on
I
PC?
haven't tried it.
Hello. I own GTA 5 on PC. It is beautiful. It is
Okay.
Does it
absolutely.
deserve?
Listen, I run
Does
it.
it deserve a glittery crown? Does it deserve a glittery crown around its head saying
It
"I like"?
does. Listen. PC Master Race in all its glory.
What card do you have?
All its glory.
On
Listen.
a PS4.
I have a R9 280X.
What?
And
What?
right now, I'm running everything on very high
Wait, what card are you
and
using?
R9 280X.
280X.
R9
Okay.
280.
One
Oh,
No,
that's a,
280X.
on R9.
oh 18.
Oh, 80.
That's
280X.
what I said.
280.
R9 280X. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a good card, man. It's a good card.
Yes.
The
Excellent
card I was
card,
going
and
to get in my build.
it costs a
And
pretty penny.
No, not really.
I
They're getting
get.
cheaper these days, man. I saw
I
they're
bought
selling
mine
it
when
for
it
like
was 300.
well, now they cost about like if you use like PC part picker, you can get some for like 200 and something. They're cheaper now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to rebuild. No, want to. I'm going to rebuild my machine, but I'm gonna go Intel. Um,
Definitely.
I haven't built an Intel machine in forever, but I don't want to stray too much from it because we're gonna talk about budget building as well.
Yeah, Mikhail is gonna cover that.
Because we're gonna cover budget building. No, one of the more interesting topics is that's coming up is consumer drones. I believe that our good friend Horace is here to talk about consumer drones. Horace, you with us still?
Hey, what's up?
I noticed that you're the strong, silent type. You barely said anything.
Well, most of them laughed. uh,
Well,
NAC hacking into Nails, voice feed.
source of that could have been a source of humor, sir. Carry on.
Okay, so well, consumer. Uh, that's a very very broad topic. You can primarily look at delivery, um, videography, photography, and then you can branch this stuff such as search and rescue and all those things.
Hmm.
But
Um,
those seem more like prosumer type uses and
I
professional.
think I
uh,
think what they're trying to say when they're talking about consumer drones, because remember OnePlus One came out with its own drone. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
those
Hang on, hang
tiny
on,
stuff.
hang on. One
Wait, did
plus
I just
one.
say something brown bacon?
That's the phone. They made the phone. Sure.
They
One plus
made
one
the
released a
drone.
drone.
Are you serious? No, please send me the
Yeah, they
link.
made a
I
drone
didn't
like a
see that.
tiny drone. It's actually
I
really
didn't see
cool,
that.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
remote
yeah.
control it with your OnePlus One. It's
Yeah,
really
it's really
cool.
small. Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
I need
drones
to
are
see.
really catching on, since about a year now. They're
Mm.
fairly cheap, below
That's the baby
$30.
drone.
Actually posted, yeah, pretty much. I posted a link on the forum to one that costs like $15 from a Chinese site, Banggood.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are becoming very popular because,
I was
well, they're
sorry.
crash proof.
Learn that
Yeah,
much.
continue.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll just
Okay.
say.
They're crash proof and they're fairly easy to really operate, and they act as a sort of learning material for those looking to get the larger systems. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, they're
But
effective and
does the controls scale up between to the higher end drones like the quadcopters and the hexacopters?
yes, the control scale up. Most of those larger systems uses a more sophisticated flight control system.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, the DJI, I'm not really fond of the DJIs because to me they are
The
toys. But
Phantoms?
yeah, the Phantoms, they're toys to me. But um, say
Really?
for example, yeah, those are
To him,
Those prices.
to
oh
him,
My God!
to him, they're
no.
toys.
Are we talking
Uh,
$2,000, right?
well, the price, no, the price itself doesn't reflect the capability of those systems. Those are not true drones. That's the first thing. So we regard them as
Those are like toy
quadcopters.
helicopters. Yeah.
Yeah, they're remote control. They do not have any sort of
AI.
like yeah AI basically. So they're just quadcopters. But the DJI, for example, those have a balancing system. They have their return to launch and those features that you won't find in those tiny systems. So the tiny drones themselves are a bit more difficult
Basically
to
remote
control.
control. Yeah, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
But they
that's
wouldn't need such high-end systems because they don't have that much range anyway.
yeah, exactly. But what I'm trying to get across is that these systems act as a sort of platform where you can learn. So you learn basically start from hard, and once you learn with these hard systems, now you move on to the larger systems. They're fairly easy because then you won't want to crash a $1,000 quadcopter.
No, I'll politely decline.
Mm. But
For
like say,
Horace, I noticed that,
yeah,
I noticed that in the Facebook group, it posted where you actually can build the drones. That's
yes,
what your
yeah, I was
company
about to
does, right?
mention that.
yeah. We
Yeah.
actually build them.
Mm-hmm.
We build them. The ones that we build are more sophisticated than the DJIs. Far more sophisticated. Those have a
The
true
cheaper
autopilot.
than the DJI.
They have waypoint navigation. They
Mm.
have smart systems that can allow them to return to a location if there's a break in radio feed. They can actually program your own
Your course on course into.
yeah, yeah, the course as well as certain criteria where the drone itself would act a certain way. You can program those into the drone as well. So, for example, if
Mm-hmm.
the wind speed reaches a certain level, they can program a drone to return to its launch location. And those are the type of systems that we work on.
So
Um,
hang on,
yeah,
stick a pin.
mhm.
So the systems that you can build, is it that it will be cheaper than a DJI model,
Yeah,
or
we
is
can build, in terms of capabilities, we can build one that is far cheaper with with the same capability of DJI. We can actually build a DJI capable system, but a system with the same level as DJI for about half the price, or less than half the price of a DJI, and
I'm
still,
gonna, I'm gonna
And it
talk
can
to you
carry
on
the same
Facebook.
payload.
yeah, same payload. The thing with DJI is that the
Night
price point
vision.
is dictated by its
Brand
brand.
credibility.
Yeah, its
Mhm.
brand. So that's the reason. Plus, when you're importing a DJI, you have to pay duty to a certain extent. We can avoid due to a lot of the stuff that we are purchasing because the components themselves are not that obvious.
So what does the
Right.
MSRP look like?
The what?
For the
The
DJI
MSRP for your product.
retail, right?
Wait, translate that for me.
The
Manufacturer's
The
recommended
price
price.
for a base
the
model.
recommended price.
Hang on.
Okay.
A base model with minimal features, but
Mhm.
enough to satisfy someone. Let's say, for example, being able to return to you if it goes too far out of range.
Prosumer
With
levels.
yeah.
Okay, a system will return to launch. We are looking at a what we call a racing drone. That will cost about $250 to $300. And that itself would have the capabilities of a DJI.
Mm-hmm.
Similar size.
Mm-hmm.
It will actually have live video that has better range than a DJI.
Mm-hmm.
You have that will give you autopilot as well. So yeah, that's $300 will give you a fairly decent system on
So
par
hold
with
on.
That's
DJI.
Even
actually pretty
true.
good.
Hang on. So let me understand this.
Hmm.
For potential drone builders out there.
Hmm.
You're saying you can build a system that is comparable to a DJI system.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, people, DJI is upwards of $700 on Amazon,
Hmm.
700 upwards, and the
Hmm.
Yeah.
$700 is for a base model without a camera.
Hmm.
Base model without. If you
Without
want a
the
camera,
camera, yes.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
gamble, no
you
gamble.
have. Yeah, and no, I'm guessing no mounting mechanism for the camera. That's only
Bear
for
in mind,
living, right?
You'd have to, I think, you have to buy the
it
gimbal separate.
costs
Yeah.
like $200.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on. So the base model DJI with you said the gimbal is what holds the camera, correct?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about $300,
Hmm.
and then a GoPro, let's say the mid-range GoPro, that's another $300. So this
Hmm.
is well over $1,000 already.
Yeah.
I
Okay, let
was
me explain
see,
it.
Michael is correcting me. $500, five. This five or
Go
this
Yes,
for
for
five
it.
the,
The
hundred?
for
most expensive.
the,
Yeah. It's
for
five.
the most expensive one.
Okay, and you can build something of
Hmm.
comparable quality, build
Hmm.
quality, and
Hmm.
durability and functionality with more
Yeah.
features, but cheaper than that.
Yeah, it can be cheaper.
Yeah,
As I
but
said,
not
it's the brand
You're my
necessarily.
itself.
new best friend. You're my new best friend. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a brand as well as labor costs, as well as DJI themselves spend a lot on R&D.
Research and development.
The NASA, for example, is a proprietary system. The flight control is a proprietary.
Mhm.
We focus mainly on open source technology. So this is technology that has been developed by the community and
Mhm.
has been tested for years by the community. So these are cheaper. And then again,
Mhm.
labor costs and all that. The need to really promote is much less, especially if you're targeting a set amount of people, which in
Mhm.
Jamaica is quite small. So it turns
That's
out
the
to be
thing.
cheaper. And let me give you another figure. We can build
Mhm.
a, a very capable system minus camera
Mhm.
for $750. And this system now will allow you to do heavy lifting, such as your heavy cameras and all those for
Because they are
$750.
solar camera. Because those weigh like 2 pounds.
Mhm. Yeah, we can lift it. Yeah, we can reliably lift your expensive camera for that. And again, that's due to
Quote
labor.
unquote reliable.
As,
And I don't think I doubt that the DJI can manage anything over a half pound.
yeah,
And GoPro is not even a half pound.
we can lift over a kilogram with one of these systems. Um, you can look up the XT650. That's like the airframe that we normally use, and
Okay.
that's
Okay.
650 millimeters. That's yeah, from one arm to the next. The DJI is 450.
And I got another question about the firmware you're running. Is it like what kind of hardware you're running on for the firmware?
Oh,
Microcontrollers or a little Windows PC?
no, no, no. the flight controller mainly is the autopilot. You use Paparazzi for the more advanced systems. Paparazzi is an open source project as well. You also have the Pixoff now, which is a newer flight control from 3DR. But we mostly focus on APM or the autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, the most popular flight system. It's very reliable, so people still use it. It's based on the Arduino.
All right.
Oh,
Last.
Arduino. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's based on the Arduino.
I said, all right. Last thing before we switch topic. You mentioned something before about waypoint controls.
Mhm.
If you were to build, let's say your $300 system with the camera, if you were to integrate the waypoint controls into that, what's the price? What's the price jump you're looking at?
That will kick it to about 380. Because we
So,
would
let,
remove the flight controller that we build it with, which most likely could be a CC3D,
mhm,
or the Open Pilot Revo, which is a new one from Open Pilot.
mhm.
But we remove that now and add your APM, which would put the price to 380.
Mm.
But that now that aircraft can actually do waypoint navigation, return to home, all of those things,
So how do you,
which DJI
do you
doesn't have.
program it from a PC? You program it before and then upload it to the device through a SD card or what?
No, you can either use a PC or a tablet or your phone. There's this application, I don't remember the name, I think it's called um, Drone Pilot. Let me check
Hmm.
it. So this application on your tablet, you can actually download it. It Drive Planner, yeah, Drive Planner. It allows you to control the aircraft using your phone. So
Okay.
you attach a
So is
radio,
it direct control or is it
yeah,
like OTA?
no, direct radio control. You get a
Oh, okay.
telemetry radio, and then you use that telemetry radio now to control the drone from your phone. So you
Hmm.
punch in your waypoints, and the drone lifts off, fly to those locations, and lands on its own. I actually
All right.
posted a video on the forums with it.
Yeah, Horace, you're gonna need to bump that post because I want to watch it. But we're going to have to shift. We're gonna
Hmm.
shift focus on another topic. But I want to be able to talk, but spend some more time on drones because I'm liking where this conversation is going. I really am. I really,
Can I
really am.
get one more question in?
Yeah, man, go on.
Quickly, no problem.
What does the Jamaican market look like for drones?
That's a good
Well,
question.
the value of the market is roughly 2 million US. That's not much, but that's mainly for hardware.
Hmm.
Services, you're looking at well over about 1.2 billion,
Hmm.
our estimate.
Wow.
That's the impact that it can have on agriculture, security, and different areas. So that's the
I'm,
service
I'm,
value.
I'm thinking of the different things that we can use these things for. So yeah,
Yeah,
and as a
dude.
matter of fact, I'm working on a project for my restaurant coming up as well. So definitely gonna look at having a drone because I mean, based off of the project that I have,
No.
having the drone
No,
for
no. I know that was the final question, but just one thing.
mm,
Imagine if KFC did deliver through drones.
Jesus. You
Well,
know what? No, we switch it. You know
I'm
what?
sorry. I
And
just
that's
had
a
to,
good one.
No.
like, KFC said, hey, we're gonna use the drones. Yo.
Who said chicken don't fly?
but here is one reason why we won't be seeing that for
Richard.
I'm
the
just saying. I'm just saying because I mean,
civil aviation is very, very, very upset. They're very upset, and they're going to put in place a lot of rules between this and next year, which
Mm,
are quite limited. Of course, my company is trying to really offset some of
Lobby.
that in negotiations with them and all of
mm.
those things. But yeah, they are going to put in place a lot of restrictions, especially on persons flying beyond the visual range,
Well,
which you should be doing.
civil aviation is quite fine. All right, Mikhail,
So,
your time. We have you
Fine.
taking over the budget PC build. Yes.
yeah.
All right.
But
Budget
when you
PC
say
builds. Well, yes,
when
continue.
you
Sorry.
say budget,
Okay.
what? No, it's fine. When you say budget, are we talking about a $1,500 budget, a $2,000 budget, a $1,000
That's the
budget? What
thing.
are we talking about?
You should say
Well,
which budget.
when you say a budget, you really have to look at what you're going to be using the PC for, what applications you're going to be doing.
Hmm.
Are you talking about a budget PC for an office? Are you talking about a budget PC for professional work or gaming or something? It just really depends on what applications you want to run.
good point.
So if you're talking about like office stuff. You know, office PCs maybe running between $400 and $500.
Oh, that's too much.
Hey, I mean, no, I'm, you know, I'm taking
You
into
need to say about
consideration.
300. No, you need to say about $300.
Really?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
taking the
but
Windows
three.
license and Windows license and a
Because
monitor and all that stuff.
Sure, let's take the window license into consideration in Jamaica. Yes, let's take that into consideration.
remember
But
this
when
is
I say
TechChat, boys.
There's always
when I say
Linux.
an office PC, I'm looking at specs now to say, all right, you know, CPU don't really matter
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a basic computer. 4 gigs of memory. Can't go less than
And
4
it's
gigs
like
of
a
memory.
work
It's
computer,
it's
right?
ridiculous to go less than that.
This is a work computer, right?
Yeah, this
Like
is a work
computer,
computer.
like a
It's a
family,
work computer.
or like a home office, like a home office,
Yeah, home
yeah,
office, office
or a
setting,
workstation, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, at that price point, I think you can safely integrate like an SSD because, they're getting cheaper and cheaper all the time. I mean, even today, Crucial, I think it was Crucial announced that they're looking into, well, they're expanding their line, so they're going into the 501 terabyte region for SSDs, and the prices were pretty attractive for
Crucial,
for those
yeah.
sizes.
I have a Crucial
Crucial
Yeah,
SSD.
but
SSD.
would you
I
really
bought a
recommend?
256
No,
gig for
but
$90 like
question.
3 months ago.
But what size is that?
Question?
No, no,
What
no,
size is
no.
that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a
Go ahead.
256
A 256.
for $90.
Yeah, I
But
got
keeping
one
in mind
for
that this
that
is like
price point
strictly for
on
work.
that price as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
got
keeping in
one
mind that
for
that is
that
strictly
price
for
as
work, I guess
well.
that's fine. But keep in mind that this is Jamaica where people don't just do work on their work computers.
Exactly.
would
This is why
not because
I say $300 to $400.
people store music on the computers, they store pictures on the computers, and they store like MP4s and that type of stuff, and that will eat up your hard drive
Storage
size.
space.
So yeah, so what I would always recommend, if you can always do that route, but this is a very important question. Would you recommend using a data drive in your computer, in your budget PC?
Yeah,
A
I think that's
small
the best
data
way to
drive,
go.
like
Yes.
500,
A 64
like a
gig
500
SSD for
gig
the
data drive
for
for the
your Windows
OS, or
drive.
maybe
Yeah,
probably a
and then
128 to
500
be
gig
safe,
for
a
the data.
128 gig to be safe, and like a 500 gig to store your data.
And it should be the
Yeah,
same price as like a more expensive SSD.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it should be. Yeah. Well,
and
moving on from the office stuff, I mean, looking into student, like a student bill. I put the student bill between anywhere from $300 to $800 because when you're talking about a student machine, you're more thinking about like a laptop. Laptops are generally more expensive, and for a laptop now, students are going to prioritize
question.
portability.
hmm
Yeah,
I was about to ask,
question.
dedicated or integrated? This is a very important question for a student because as a student, you're going to be like, I mean, if I'm going to be just doing schoolwork, yeah, I'm just going to go integrated. But if I'm going to do more than schoolwork, I'm going to go dedicated on my GPU. So that, I guess,
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be another thing to look at.
Well, and
Because
that
if you
no, for that no, this would be the laptop, and no, well, this would be the laptop, and this would be the desktop. So, a laptop with like a dedicated GPU is going to be like $1,000 plus.
Not
Something
necessarily.
with
not necessarily.
not necessarily.
Yeah.
If you get it on a sale,
You mean a
then
laptop?
Black Friday.
Oh yeah, you mean like the Lenovo Y series? Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, that
Yeah. I missed the word
no,
laptop. I'm sorry.
yeah, but this I would say if if you're thinking about gaming, do a desktop. Okay, you get like a 270X or a 270, and you're good. I mean, you can run a couple games. Not you can run games, but not at any like look at all the graphics.
Like killer.
You'll be able to run stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe you would
And you probably
you'd
would
skip.
recommend like an i3, like a higher grade i3 as well, or probably like an A6,
Hmm.
like the
Yeah,
Hashira series.
A6, A8, I5 or a high-end i3.
Or what you could
Yeah.
do is you could go the FM2 plus route, and you could get like
Ah,
a 860K or 760K.
Yes.
Hmm.
Those are
Yeah,
pretty good.
yes.
You just
Yes,
get a
you
nice
could.
no, but that when you talk in that, then you're going to go over the like $150 category for graphic for processors alone.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's over $150 for the processor alone. And as a
what's that?
student, you're not really. No, I'm talking for the CPU.
Which
You're gonna
CPU?
be spending over $150. Like those AMD FX series you're talking about. You're
No,
gonna
no,
be
not
spending over.
FX, not the FX.
No, not the FX series, you said.
The
You
860.
said
Oh,
the FX series. The
okay.
The
FM2s.
My bad.
Athlon, the Athlon series, the FM2
Hmm.
The
ones.
Yeah.
FM2s. Oh, okay. The half nods. Okay. My bad. I thought you were going into the
Alright.
Phenom Plus range.
Not the Phenom. The Phenoms are old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
phenoms
I
are
know. I know.
good.
Hey, I have a Phenom. I have a Phenom too. From it still works.
I
Okay.
know. I have
And
a.
then if it's then
Yeah.
broke,
Alright,
then you
jumping
All right.
into the professional side of things now. That's when bigger budgets come out. Okay, you're looking at $1,000 all the way. I would say all the way up to $2,500, $3,000, depending on what you're doing. And
Mhm.
at that level, you should be prioritizing storage,
storage
your
and graphics.
speed. You should be you should be trying to get. Well, it really depends on what you're doing. If you're doing like video editing, and what
Then
I always tell people, if you're
sure.
building a video editing machine, don't buy a consumer grade graphics card. Buy a workstation card. Your
Oh,
life will be easier.
Yeah.
Well, that's for maybe for
buy a
the
Fire
Nvidia
Pro.
side, because the Nvidia professional cards have better support for these applications. But on the AMD side, it's not quite as bad. You can get a consumer level card that has the proper support.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I always say,
Oh, you're also forgetting
just
a
get
very
the.
important point, Mikhail. RAM.
I didn't reach.
Something
I didn't reach a
RAM.
RAM yet. RAM 16 gigs, no less. If you want more, it's up to
Yeah.
you. 16 gigs. Let's go.
Yeah.
16 gigs of RAM. Sorry, 16 gigs.
Yeah. 16 megs of RAM.
Nothing
Sure.
less.
Yeah. Megs. Mhm.
Nothing less. And I would say for processor in this manner, an i7. I would say an i7. I'm an AMD
i7
person.
or
I would say
i5.
get an i7 for productivity.
Yeah.
No, but you
Yeah.
can get an i5 too, and an i5 will be good. Like if you get like a 4460, like a 4460 or something that has the hyper-threading capabilities, you would be able
Any
to pull off the graphic.
yeah,
Or
anything
i5
basically.
46
Or you could
4690.
go socket 2011,
Or
get the
yeah,
cheap one.
Well, basically anything with
yeah. Well, that's true.
hyperthreading because you're gonna want that for doing any type of editing
Yeah.
work because editing is
Yep.
slow as hell and
Mhm.
terrible.
Yep.
Oh, and definitely SSDs for your boot drive at least, and
Mhm.
to
Definitely.
put your applications on. And if you can definitely afford it, get a higher capacity SSD and just forego the mechanical altogether. Or if you have one of the newer motherboards, you can probably even start to implement the M2s and get even faster speeds.
Not necessarily just the
But
I'm not
M2s, but
sure if I
the
would.
PCI.
I'm not sure
the
if I
PC,
would.
I,
Oh,
was,
yeah.
I wasn't even looking
The
at that because
PCI,
that would have been
definitely.
kind of just out. The price range would kind of been out.
You can get the new Intels, the 750s. They're not that expensive.
Yeah, but you're gonna. I don't want you to be taking up your PCI Express slots, 'cause, you don't know what. You might have to have in your A graphics card definitely, maybe a sound card,
People still
quite
use
possibly
sound
a RAID
cards.
card. Yeah,
No, but the thing is, if you're going to be
sound
getting
card.
a
I have a
PC,
sound card. I have a sound card.
Mikhail, if you're getting a PC for this type of purpose, dude, you're going to be getting something that has enough PCI slots and enough space to support dual slot graphics cards. So you wouldn't be getting anything that has like 2 or 3 PCIs. You get something that has like 6. So you'd have the space.
Well,
Well,
not a lot of.
have you seen some of these graphics cards on how much space they take up? It's completely covered stuff.
The thing is, Z98 doesn't have as that many PCI slots. Z97 rather for the Intel stuff. If you want more than that, you'd have to go 2011.
Okay.
Alright. And now the final segment of this, the gaming. The gaming budget can be anything. The gaming budget can be $500.
Yeah.
The gaming budget can be from $500, can be $300, can be $5,000, $10,000. It's whatever your imagination perceives it to be.
No.
How much cash you have?
You can buy 4 Titan X's and put them in your machine and go play Peggle. You know.
But why would you?
If you can and you want
They're
to, you
extremists
should.
out there.
Or you know
Extremists
what?
out there.
Just play Tetris. Just play Tetris.
Yeah, it's play Tetris. You know, go on YouTube watch YouTube videos all day with your 4 Titan X's.
Yes.
Watch it all day.
But the thing
Don't
is,
forget JPS is cut as well.
yeah, man.
Yeah. He
You
called
must
me
sure.
to tell her.
You have a personal bank
Every
account.
time you sit and JPS smiles a little bit.
You know the power dips in the era. JPS calls you. Oh, you just turn on the computer. I'm like, yep.
Okay, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. But I mean, seriously, though, gaming machine, 8 gigs no less. SSD is a must.
For the boot drive.
For the
SSD is a must
boot
plus
drive,
drive.
for your boot drive for playing games off, it's awesome. Loading time, I can tell you this, GTA 5 loads in like no time on my SSD. No time whatsoever.
I'm waiting till they get to the juicy part about the CPU and the GPU. That's the juicy part.
CPU, I mean, CPU is important, but it's not that important when it comes to gaming. I mean, i5, i7,
Depends on the type of gaming. Depends on the type of game. Because if you're like Maurice and you're doing emulation.
I mean, come on, what's the highest emulation we have now? The highest emulation we really have now? PS2?
PS3 and Xbox One. PS3. PS3 and Xbox 360, yeah. And they have Wii U as well.
I mean, I've
done Wii U
emulation. I've done the Wii U emulation. Here's my Wii controller, and I have the emulator on the thing, and it does. I mean, yeah, it's not that. It's not. I don't think it's that taxing on my system.
All right.
But yeah, I mean.
Other than it, make a note about the high-end gaming PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that for a couple of months until we see what AMD has to put out, because they still haven't updated the graphics card since 2013.
Well, the current rumor with those now is that it's the 390X might just be a rebranding of the 290X.
That's impossible.
So
might be
that's the current rumor. That's the rumor on the internet.
Right?
The rumor that I read was that
we have to see.
All right.
It's all speculation right now. We just have to wait and see what AMD does. Personally, I hope they come with something great and awesome so that I can finally have a justification to sell this card and buy a 290X and not feel so bad, or maybe purchase another one and crossfire.
There you go.
All right, I'm just going to point something out. When it comes to budget builds, I'm currently building one right now, and I'm not sure. A lot of people have been updating the group a lot about the builds that I'm implementing, and this is probably the final one that I've come up with completely. So I'm an Intel guy. I love AMD, but I'm an Intel guy. Whenever we compare the statistics, I don't really care about the money. If I'm getting the performance, I'm going to pay the money for the thing. I'm going to be getting an i5, I think 4590. I think
Unlocked.
I'm spending.
It's not the
I
case,
think
so
it's
it's
a
locked.
it's a super overclocked one. It's just a super overclocked, and I'm seeing it for like $186. So standard 8 gigs of memory. Because I could always put in 12, but it depends on the type of build that you're using. You see, my build is a bit specific. Yeah. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. It's a micro build as well, so I'm going for a micro ATX build because I tried to simulate like a console because I don't have it. But
yeah.
So I'm doing a very small build, so I'm limited in most of the components. I'm getting like 8 gigs of memory. I'm getting the i5. I'm putting a basic water cooling system. And I saw this new case called the ASA. It's not really new, but it's the ASA C103 or something like that. Case looks amazing, and it can fit a full-size PSU in there, which is very rare for those type of micro ATX builds because they have to support the SFX. So this is just another thing that you guys can look at as well if you're going to be going into like building a PC. I'm also getting either between a GTX 960, a good card for like $200. So yeah, or either that or the R9280, the standard one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because both of them are like on the same price range, and I'm leaning more towards the R9280X. And my entire build, including the PSU, is about $700.
Good price.
Point, yeah.
And this is basically me building my own console, which is why I say PC Masters. I'm building my own console, and I encourage everyone try building their own console. You don't need the big, dirty looking PC. This is something I don't like. I like having something small, compact, but that can power.
Remember, if that particular topic, I have to leave it for our next episode because I can tell you that topic won't end here. It won't end here. But moving on quickly.
We can always versus big.
Yeah. We're currently strapped for time. One of the other things that I wanted to touch on briefly, Dale is going to be here touching on that as well, is Digicel. I say Digicel wanting to be the next AT&T because they want to offer triple play service in the Caribbean. I have no idea how this is going to pan out because, I mean, we know Digicel for cell phones. We don't know for what's going to go for cable or...
they have WiMAX too, so they kind of giving us a slight taste, but the taste is not great.
Why am I still left up to discussion? But I mean, I don't know what to expect from this move. What do you think?
I think it's a credible threat to Lime because since evening. No, I think it's a credible threat because since evening on the radio, I heard that Lime has bought additional spectrum, additional broadband spectrum. So I mean, why would Lime be doing that without, unless they were preparing for the onslaught from Digicel?
No, because Digicel is a bit follow, but the question that
here's the thing, because you remember Lime has been pretty complacent since Digicel. And again with Flow. So I think also with the recent merger between Flow and Lime, they have to really think about moving forward and not thinking, that they're comfortable in the place that they are. I mean, right now between Flow and Lime has an estimated 48% of you in the fixed band broadband subscriber based, right? And Lime has about 52, right? I mean, that combined, they really have 100% of that market. So it might be a bit challenging even for Digicel to break in, but I think with a lot of customers or subscribers having this kind of result with Flow especially, they're willing to try anything new. you know. But
Well,
overall, last year was a big milestone for Digicel. They did acquisitions, about 15 submarine segments across the Caribbean.
Mhm.
Wow.
Right? That's connecting like 12 different countries to Puerto Rico, and that went ongoing into the U.S. Right? And we actually see lately where they've been actually doing a lot of micro trenching, laying fiber.
Mhm.
Of the last week, I see them running fiber cable on the lines. Not them directly, but a contracted company.
Mhm.
The plan is really to lay about 22 kilometers of fiber optic within Kingston and Montego Bay in the first phase, right?
Mhm.
And a few other things. I mean, Digicel pretty much rolled out their business fiber in Kingston in September last year, which was announced.
it's in Mumbai as well.
You're right.
What's the
Um,
bandwidth on it? The general bandwidth. What's the general bandwidth on that?
well, I don't have any details on what their business packages are, because
It's
I mean,
expensive.
as a residential subscriber, and they don't have that service out as yet. You
Okay.
know. But
Oh, the business services are expensive. I mean, I remember asking about uh, or I think it was a 4 meg package for fiber, and it was like $800 a month US.
mm,
Wow. For
Yeah, it's
4
not.
meg?
For 4 meg.
Yeah,
that's
Mm.
4 meg
and
down and up.
Nope.
I actually have a friend in Kingston at her office. They have a 20 meg connection down and up, and they pay about 2.5 a month, but that's from Flow. So I'm thinking digital
2005
prices are probably
US?
going to be on par or maybe a little less.
Okay.
I'm
But
not sure if it's going to be less. There's no guarantee because what we know about Digicel. Digicel usually always tries to offer something like that that overbeats their competition. But then when they do that, they kind of slap themselves in the face with price, and basically they take it out on the clients. That's what I know about Digicel.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, like for example, anytime Digicel comes out with a new service that apparently is so cheap it's too good to be true, we say, "Oh, let's go for that," and then like in
Mhm.
a matter of weeks, it
It
either fails that they completely take it away, or they adjust the prices behind your back without you knowing, and then you get slapped in the face with the bill.
mhm.
That's how I've seen Digicel operate.
well,
So when they
if
come
that's how
out
they
with this
operate, they
service,
really should have taken away that whole WiMAX thing, because that was just complete rubbish.
yes, but that is it. To be honest, do you notice that WiMAX is now being kind of downplayed a bit more? It's not being
You
used
haven't
as much as
really heard
it's
a
not.
lot of people talk about WiMAX.
You haven't heard a lot of people talking about WiMAX. As a matter of fact, wait a sec, guys. Let me show you. I have a WiMAX in the back of my back of my house, and I haven't used it in like when did WiMAX come out?
It became a doorstop because here's the thing: when they introduced WiMAX, they introduced it based on knowledge with Sprint and Sprint backing that technology, and then Sprint abandoned it, and Digicel. I don't know if it is that they're trying to save face, or they made this huge investment. They carried through with it, knowing that
Yeah.
they were the only ones that really were actually using the technology. I just wouldn't be able to deliver on what they
No, but
expected.
you know what their first big mistake was? Everyone can say what their first big mistake with WiMAX was.
Not
When
waiting.
they called it 4G. Actually, no, the first
There was
mistake
no standard
was
yet.
no,
Mhm.
the first mistake was that they said they were going to have WiMAX for years. From back in 2003 or 2004, they were like, oh,
They had
WiMAX is
WiMAX.
coming.
They
And
had
then it didn't come
WiMAX.
out until what, 2008?
No,
And then they,
Actually,
when did they,
Lime had WiMAX before and abandoned it because they had problems with the switching, the handshake from different towers.
oh, yes, I
So Lime
remember
didn't
that.
even touch WiMAX.
But
No,
can
but
WiMAX
Digicel
scale
did
up
though.
to 4G LTE?
No,
No.
WiMAX is still at
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
3.5G.
It,
WiMAX is
you can still buy
3.5.
4G, but it depends on the standard you're using, right? Because the standard for WiMAX, it barely crosses over, you know. So
Like
I don't know,
barely.
barely.
Come on, man. But the question is, Does anyone remember Digicel saying, "Hey, we're going to be coming out with LTE"?
Mm-mm.
I
Don't they
remember
have
this.
LT?
Yeah,
Don't they
I
have
remember.
LT in like Cayman and British Virgin Islands?
They do.
Yeah, I think so. Or is it, if it's not digital, it's Lime. What? Somebody has it though.
I think
Hey,
it was
here's the thing.
Lime. It was Lime, dude. It's not Digicel. I think it's Lime.
You know,
Because
the problem I have though is that a lot of times we come out with our companies come out with these standards, or they say, all right, they're advertising 4G or LTE, and when you really look at it in terms of the performance you actually get as a consumer, it
it's
doesn't.
not that great.
It's far
It
from
doesn't
what you
translate.
expected.
It's just
So is it
garbage.
actually that?
Garbage.
And
That's what I'm with.
anybody
That's
ever used? Has anybody here actually used LTE?
Yes.
I have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your battery will
LTE is amazing.
suffer.
Yeah.
I mean, any kind of data service will kill your battery.
No,
Even
and then the worst
GPRS.
part is that
Don't forget, 4G will eat your battery alive. That's
Yeah,
the
Or
that's
it
truth.
here's the
true.
does eat
question.
battery.
The question
That's
I
true.
have to ask you: will it be consistent?
True.
Because
Will it be
this,
consistent?
that's the question. Will it be consistent? You'll be like, okay, I'm in New Kingston, I'm getting LTE. When you kind of step over to half a tree.
But I don't think that's a function of the wireless itself. That's just a function of the coverage map.
Yeah. Because they may roll out LTE in segments.
Mhm.
So parts of Kingston may
Yeah,
have
but
it.
even no, but with that, the thing is, Digicel says that they're like the provider that covers the majority of the island. I don't believe this to be true.
I don't believe that either.
So whenever
I
when they
I
say
believe
okay,
that
when you've seen the map in the store, right? The map in the
my
store that
belief
says okay, we cover parishes, and I'm like, that's not true.
Mhm.
my belief is that Digicel has their antenna in a plane and the plane just flies around Jamaica. When it's over, you'll get your 4G, and then when it's past, you will
There
lose
must be
it.
a drone. It must be a drone, Horace.
You know
Horace,
that
it
It's a
they do that in the
drone,
states, right?
Paris. After you,
The
must
police
be a
does that in
drone.
the states. That's how they capture people's phone calls.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll be doing it out here shortly.
Nah.
And
When
remember,
Horace
guys,
sells them a drone.
NSA is watching. Just remember.
All right, but
NSA
in,
is
Hey,
watching.
NSA, just kidding.
But all right, so guys,
in
do you
conclusion,
think though that if Digicel actually does do a triple play service and offer both internet and everything? I mean, my primary thing is really internet. But
Mm.
do you
yeah,
think
that's
they'll
everybody.
make an impact in the market, given the hole that Lime Flow really has right now?
Yes,
I
I
don't think
think
so.
so.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
so.
I
And
mean,
based on what?
I can't quite. I don't know.
Price.
The market is down there, but I'm sure that having another provider will help. You know, as a
Yeah.
will help with the competition. You get more competitive pricing.
you
We
do.
The
would need
question,
two. We would need two providers for anything to be competitive in Jamaica.
Well, a duopoly is just as bad as a monopoly in some
Well,
Yeah.
cases.
yeah,
Exactly.
you need
that's the
three
thing.
providers. You need
Yes.
three because remember
My
when Clara was here and everybody lost their minds over Clara because Clara was like, okay, if you buy a Clara SIM, you can call anybody on Clara for free. And everyone was just eating it up. And Clara did it just to prove a point. But
the
at the
thing,
same
the,
time,
the
what
thing
it
is,
did for the market, it just
mm,
shows what happens when an extra player steps in. People get hyped
Yeah.
over it.
At
my
this
my
point,
opinion. My opinion of this whole thing is that if if we have more providers with sense,
yeah.
with providers with
Good
sense,
point.
I mean things will be better. Because a couple of years back, I heard that AT&T was looking to actually come out here.
That's what I
Yeah.
heard as well.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
sad that the idea died,
Very
but
sad.
as it is, as Earl had mentioned, yeah, what is it? Duopoly?
Duopoly.
Duopoly,
I hope I
Yeah.
duopoly,
pronounced it right. Yeah,
duopoly.
it's
When
just
two
as bad as a
markets,
monopoly.
when two companies dominate the market. Yeah.
And all that, I mean, yes, we have
Because
Flow. Well, we had Flow. We had a lot of other cable companies all over the island. You had Flow, you had Telstar. Um, you have
who
companies
else
of
exist?
Listen,
yeah,
listen.
there's Logic One on Red Hills Road. I used to use Logic One.
That's King's Club.
Um, yeah,
It might
but
be
then
the term of cable companies owner and rainfall, you have no service for 3 days after.
but yeah,
That sounds
I
like
mean,
Jax.
the fact is that they had all these companies, they had all these separate entities. Now, Digicel bought Flow. I
A
think
line
Line
bought
bought
flow.
Tar, something.
Limebot.
No, I'm sorry, Line bought Flow. And Digicel bought
Yeah.
who?
They bought
Telstar was
Telstar.
Telflex.
They
Yeah.
bought Telstar. They
Mm.
bought
They sold out
Sportsmax.
to Telstar? Wow.
Yeah, they bought Telstar. I think they bought Telstar about a year or two
Yeah,
ago.
and the thing is that they also bought other
I really,
cable companies in other islands like Anguilla, Dominica, Montserrat,
You see, that's the
Turks and
thing.
Caicos,
That's
And
Nevis.
the
the
thing.
government down there doesn't have any worries about like antitrust issues.
What's
They
that?
We don't
do.
know. We don't know what that. We don't know. We have a
What's
clue what that is
what's
that?
exactly.
antitrust? This sounds like something
We have no
I
idea
would
what
never
that
hear
is.
about.
They, they bought
Uh,
these companies, guys. They bought these individual companies, and OUR has not said a word
Yeah.
because
Well,
basically they're creating a duopoly, as you said. At the end of the day, these companies are owned by a bigger company, even though it's a
yeah.
different
Yeah.
name. That's the,
All
the
right. I
up.
give you an example. I give you an example.
So
How it is
yeah.
here. At one point, Digicel started to charge customers or actually create a mandatory data service, right,
Mhm.
for customers. So whether you have data on your phone turned on or
Mhm.
enabled, you're being billed at a higher rate than if you were subscribing to it. So once the phone has
Mhm.
it, you're getting charged. Now,
Mhm.
Lime recently started to do the same thing this year, right? And I think that is based on the success that Digicel had in terms of persons not being able to reverse that whole policy. Because
Mhm.
what happens is that OUR is treating all these cases as individual cases rather than a collective. They're not seeing it as a policy change that affects everybody, but only a few persons are aware of it.
Mhm.
So if once you start treating it as an individual thing, you might hear 10 persons complain or 100 persons complain, but it's not enough to really say anything
It's not
for
enough to
them.
make a difference. It's not enough to make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. So until
but
they actually start treating
that's
it as a policy change and address it like that,
Mhm.
then guess what? We can have something happening, but it's not
Mhm.
going to happen.
Mhm.
Not going
you have
to.
to educate people first to let them know because I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You have to
Yeah,
educate
but
people
they
so
thrive
that they
on
know.
that type of stuff, man. They thrive on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Once you don't know, that's money for them in their
But
pocket.
once you
exactly.
don't know, it can and will hurt you.
And when it gets brought up in a scandal, oh gosh, it's the biggest thing ever. When
Hmm.
it
Yeah,
gets brought up in a scandal, and then they're like, yeah, but we've been doing it for years.
But here's
exactly.
the thing on top of that, they'll actually show you evidence that to support that they have been educating
Doing
people
it,
on
and
it,
exactly.
right?
But
No,
they've been
But guess
educating
what?
it
the fine print.
subconsciously.
The fine
They'll
print.
do it.
Exactly.
The fine print.
No, you have to post something like this on the page. You have to post this on the page. I really need to sit down and read about what is really happening. But I would also
Well, I didn't know. I post something about it because I even complained to OUR and said, hey, listen, this is what is happening, and I even gave them a scenario. I said to them, what if one day Digicel decides now to give you a credit limit of $1,000 once you have got your zero balance, and then start
Mm.
taking out of that credit, and once you start adding money to the phone, they
Take
take
it
it
back.
back,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then the next day, I see a post from a member to say Digicel is now offering DigiLoan.
Oh
yes.
gosh,
So
I
I'm
remember that.
wondering now
I
if my phone
laughed.
is tapped or something. I have
What
no idea.
the hell?
You know,
What is a DigiLoan?
a DigiLoan,
What is a
you borrow money and then take it back at a percentage
No,
higher.
I know. I mean, I know what it is,
But
literally. But just
but
ask.
but here's the thing: how
But
is
would you need a
Digicel now
loan for credit? How
in
desperate are you to
microloans?
get? Well, how desperate must
How
you
are they
be
in
to take a
microloan
loan out on
services?
credit? That's the
You
question.
take a
How
credit
desperate?
and credit.
You must be like on the verge of dying, like, oh my God, I'm dying. I need to call someone, but I
And I
have
do
no
have
money for
$100.
credit.
Yeah.
I don't have no money for credit.
This is it.
Digilone. I'm going to die
I
anyway. You're not getting the
swore.
money back from me.
And then the funny thing
If
is, when I questioned it and I said, all right, how long have they actually been doing this whole digital loan thing? And so I said, oh, they already did in these many countries long time ago. So I actually decided to look for advertising to support that. Barely could I find anything. Couldn't find anything. So I think we're like test bed.
Ah,
We
We
are.
are
We are.
called guinea pigs. We are the guinea pigs.
but about the triple play again, I have to ask: Will it allow us to segment the package? Like, say we say, okay, we go to Digicel and say, okay, we only want internet. Will they give us the option to get only internet? Because
Maybe at a higher price for the other two
Yeah,
parts.
they might not. That's the thing. Because it might be a case where they say, okay, we must offer you two services, a minimum of two services in order to get it. That's also possible. We have to wait and see what they'll do.
If that is
But
the case, I'm hoping that having a mobile phone is a part of that service because I wouldn't take something I don't need, right? And I
But
wouldn't
you
be
know they
forced into
thrive
a
on that
situation like
because
that.
Time Warner
Yeah.
does that to you. Time Warner says, okay, you have to get the entire package. Even if you say, oh, I just want internet. Wait, Time Warner's Comcast now, right? That's what Comcast does to people. They're like, hey, I just want internet. They say, no, you have to buy the entire triple play package.
No, you
That's if you want
can't.
a discounted rate. That's if you
No,
want
you
it at a
can't.
discounted rate.
Wait.
Right.
I have knowledge of this. I have knowledge.
It's so excited.
Yes, because I worked in a call center for a brief time and we did triple play packages from all the providers and Time Warner T a 20 meg package for 60 US. No, let me talk about a 2 meg package. A 2 meg package for 60 US.
No, you lie.
Crazy.
Go away. You too lie. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Serious.
You too lie. You
Serious.
too lie.
Anyways,
Too lie.
How long ago was
I
that?
don't believe you. No, that's
last
unbelievable.
year.
That's too lie.
In
Last year.
some markets, yeah, I've seen those prices.
Yeah, crazy. Comcast though. Comcast, as terrible as Comcast is, I would welcome Comcast here
But Time Warner
because
is Comcast though.
yeah,
That's very
Time
well,
Warner is Comcast now.
that's
I don't
yeah.
think they merge.
I thought
But
didn't they get bought out by Comcast? Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they did.
Comcast, you cannot
Got
get
bought out
one
by
single service. You cannot. You have to get either cable and internet
Exactly.
or TV and phone.
TV and phone or something like that.
Yeah, we can't get cable alone. I had to become like, I just want the TV, I just want the internet.
That's what I remember someone saying. You have to kind of get a bundle to get the thing. You can't go to
Yeah,
because
you
they make
do.
no money off of one service. They literally make no money off of one service because they know everyone's just going to use the internet. They
Yeah.
no, the
know.
profit margins are super high for these guys.
Well,
Even on
here's the
regular
thing.
TV and cable.
It would be
And
smart
we
for
actually pay
Digicel
the same
to
amount of money
acknowledge that.
for internet.
It would be smart for Digicel to acknowledge that the market really drives on internet service and provide
Exactly.
that kind of service. And you know, create. It's not a niche anymore. I mean, everybody can want it. And even though a lot of persons use it to integrate the whole card cutting and VoIP services, they have to embrace it.
This
That's
is
what
another
we're
topic.
right now. You know.
But let me get this straight. Why is it so hard to make a competitive and fair service in Jamaica?
It's not hard.
It's
not
not hard.
hard.
It's just that
It's just that they're
greedy.
grabbing money.
Yeah.
it's just
Our
greedy.
pockets are too open. That's what the problem is. And
The
we have
easiest
no
way
regulation.
to make money is just to give people what they want, right?
No,
People
that's
want
not
it.
They don't think about it. No, they give what they want under their terms. Come
Yeah.
on, dude. It's about their terms. If it's not
If they
gonna
can make more money and normal,
exactly.
as a more profitable means
Well,
of getting it or doing
Well,
the service.
it's a fiber connection, right?
If they can do less
What?
with more money,
It's a fiber
that's
connection for
what-
Digicel, right?
what
No.
Sims said one day.
That's like
Yeah,
a
that's
very
more money.
popular speech.
Okay. Do you guys
So like a
let me
politician.
tell you what I believe this is going to happen for this service ultimately. Do you guys remember the BK loyalty program when they had it out and it was one of the main reasons why people used to go to BK? They said, oh, I have my loyalty card. I can get a free Whopper or so and so.
No, hold
It's
on.
free, that's
You have to
free.
buy. you
No, no,
have
no.
to buy meals.
I know.
I
There's terms. There
think
are always
it
terms and
was, oh Jesus,
conditions. No, but
you had to
listen,
spend a
listen.
ridiculous amount of
Alright.
money to even get something free.
No, no.
What
You
the
could
hell?
spend. No, listen. You could spend $500. When it first came out, it was $500, and you could buy anything for $500. Like on like just spend like a
You get
couple
like a
$5,000.
dessert or
No, no,
appetizer
no.
or something.
When it start, no, no. On specific
Mm.
days when you went there, if you buy something for five
Yeah,
hundred dollars,
yeah,
you get
yeah.
a free pie or upgraded fries, which is good because $500 is like
Mm.
the basic Whopper combo, and you could say, okay, $500 buy a basic Whopper combo, get the up fries, and if you
Mm.
buy it like 4 times, and you get a max of $2,000, you get, you know, the grade 8 thing, whatever they call it.
Mm.
Not to digress too long,
Mm.
but what happened eventually when they noticed it hitting its stride and it was getting so successful, and then they said, "Hey, we're not making that much money off of this anymore." They started kind of adding more stipulations to it and
Mm.
saying, "Okay, you can only get this between these hours of the day, or you can
Mm.
only get this if you're over 60 years old," or
Or you
they
can
started
jump on a
telling
leg.
yeah, they started telling staff members to tell people that the card machine's not working. You know, little things to kind of reduce its usage until ultimately you just see a big sign
It was
saying,
bad.
we're not offering this service anymore. And the
Yeah.
main reasons why is because even though it's benefiting you because you're getting free stuff, it's not benefiting them and they don't care
Yeah.
about you, so they'll take it away.
They
Mm.
So
kill it early.
Digital's going to do the same thing. Digital's going to do the same thing. They're going to put it out. If it's good, people will use it. And use it, they will, until Digicel says, hey, we're not getting that much money anymore, and then they're going to put it away. Or
That's
if
pretty
it's
much what Flow
dull,
do, you know.
Mm.
yeah,
That was
Because
one
Flow does
hell of
that
an
too.
analogy.
you got good,
Yeah,
yeah, you mean? Because remember, you know, when
yeah,
it just
I'm
came
good
out
with
on the
analogies.
market, you know, the service was impeccable.
It
You had
Exactly.
nothing,
was.
Yes,
you
it
had
was.
nothing close to it. Lime
Lime
didn't stand a
always,
chance,
Lime
right?
was literally losing customers land scale.
All right. But right now, they are like the new Lime. And worse that them
Yep,
and Lime merged together, you don't even know what going to
yep.
happen right there.
No, you don't notice it since the Lime took over. I don't want to say that it's a coincidence. I don't want to say that it's causal and effect, but
Mm.
I've just noticed that this has
Coincidental,
all
yeah?
happened since Lime made it official that hey, we've now merged. And I'm
Merging.
like, why is my signal suck so bad? And I'm
Yep.
like, you bastards.
That might be a
Yeah.
placebo effect.
I
It's
mean,
just, I know it's probably just a coincidence, but come on.
let me tell you
One of
guys.
the worst internet providers buys out one of the best internet providers, and the best internet provider kind of decreases in quality by
Yeah.
landslides. You kind
Mm.
of notice, you kind of put a cause and effect thing there. But
Yeah.
I kind
Let
of
me tell
hope
you. I
Digicel
mean,
does a little better,
see,
but I don't see it being that good. But that's just
cross
me being a
cross your
skeptic.
fingers and your toes.
I'm just that's
But
just me being a skeptic. It could even flip
mm,
around and Digital says, "Hey, this thing's good and it's here to stay. We're not going to
mm,
take it away from you and be like bitches." Because notice this as well. Lime did the same thing with I think postpaid. Lime offered a postpaid, or is it no, a prepaid service for landlines,
mm,
and people used that service and said, "Okay." Because at the time, remember, postpaid was ridiculously expensive, especially since it was tied with dial-up.
mm,
So people said, okay, you could add $500 credit on your landline phone, and it was so
mm,
popular at some point, Digicel said, we're losing too many postpaid customers to prepaid. We'll have to take the service away because postpaid is how they make their bread and butter.
mm.
So they took prepaid away, and they were giving everyone like some promotional offer, like, hey, if you switch to postpaid, we'll give you X amount of months free. My mother still uses prepaid to this day, and that was terminated, I think, back in 2002. She's
Mm.
like, nope, I ain't switching. Line made a big mistake.
So to wrap
Yeah,
this
Big,
up,
I mean, you
everybody
know,
hates their ISPs.
pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
I
yeah,
mean,
Yeah,
at
I
the
would
end of the
have
day,
much of an option anyway.
yeah,
yeah,
at the end of the
No.
day, I mean, we're basically stuck with what's here until someone comes with either a new idea or until or regulatory body rather
steps it
decides
up
that
and kind of
yeah,
hit them in
let's
the
step it
ass.
up and put stricter restrictions or
Yeah,
better restrictions rather on them and to say that listen, you need to provide X amount of service, X amount of proper service with least amount of complaints, or else you're going to be facing some fines or fees or whatever the case may be.
That might
But
be
I
the
mean,
likely case, but think about how long it's going to take.
that's the next
I
thing
think we
again.
should petition Google.
I mean, for Google Fiber. Oh,
Google,
please,
Yes,
Google
I think
Fiber.
Google is going to take
Please,
over
Google
the
Fiber.
let them take us over, please. I would agree Google takes over the
Mm.
internet, and I would actually tell, say, Amazon take over the government because you seem to know what you're doing.
Wait, who was it that? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It was Netflix, not Google. I just
Guys.
remember someone said, yeah, oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. But my lovely illustrious panel, we have come to the end of a very interesting program.
And
Oh
we never
no.
go
We're
through all the
actually we're
topics,
actually
man.
we actually ran over our
Oh,
time.
yeah.
It wasn't interesting. We ran over our time just a little bit,
Just
but
a little bit.
yeah, just a teeny tiny instant bit, yeah.
This is
But
for
it
topics
was
that
it
we
was
actually get
interesting
to save
nonetheless.
for the next
Um,
or the next segment.
Richie, Michael, Horace, and Earl, thank you very much for coming once again.
Mikhail,
Dale, as
Thanks
Mikhail,
for
my
having me.
apologies.
Yeah, Mikhail.
Dale is the man with the plan as per usual. Thank you very much for facilitating us once again.
No problem.
And on that note, have a good night, gentlemen. Until next week.
Peace.
All
You said
right.
good morning first, now it's night.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
yeah,
we've been
sorry.
on that long.
Yeah, we've been on that long.
We've been on that long. Everyone's gone to sleep.
Have a good night, man.